Welcome to the sexy side of menopause.
So, ladies, we are here for another episode of The Sexy Side of Menopause, and I bring to you today someone who really radiates the sexy side of menopause. This is Dr. Sullivan. We met in a high level mastermind group, and I had watched her from a distance for a while. She's an amazing woman. I won't spill the beans on everything. I'll let her introduce herself to you. But you won't believe her background, you won't believe her age, and you won't believe her aspiration in life. She has just done so many phenomenal things, and I'm so impressed and watching everything you do and looking forward to sharing you with my audience. Welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you for that introduction. It's funny when I look back on my life, I think I haven't done any great things, but then I guess you're right. I mean, I have several degrees. Let me start from the beginning. My first degree is in sociology and criminology. I have a PhD from the University of Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is my home, my original home. And then I went to work with Patricia Roberts Harris, who was the first African American secretary of HUD. And I didn't like that at all. I won't go into detail about that because we're here for menopause, but I didn't like that at all. And then I came upon a naturopathic physician, and he said to me, "You should be a naturopath." And I said, "Excuse me, sir, just give me some of those bat feathers or whatever you boil up in the back room," because nobody had heard of naturopathy in 1978, let's face it. And some people still haven't heard of it, and that's been my mission for the remainder of my life to let people know what naturopathic medicine is. And so he said, every month, he said the same thing after he heard my story. "You should be a naturopath." I said, "I'm not doing that. First of all, I'm not going back to school for 4 more years, and I'm not going to relocate to Seattle, Washington. I was in DC at the time. But 6 months into my treatment with him, and mind you, I didn't have any diagnosable disease. I didn't have diabetes, hypertension, none of that. I still don't. And I'm in my 70s, but I looked terrible. And I was in my 30s. I was 29 at the time with a face full of acne. I was 30 pounds overweight, and I was tired all the time. And I said, what am I going to look like when I'm 70? Well, now I'm over 70 and I know what I look like. I look better than I did when I was 29, and I feel better. So after 6 months of working with him, I decided I want to be a naturopathic physician after everything else I've done. My family and myself thought I was crazy because I literally moved across the country to Seattle, Washington, and I spent 7 years there doing my degree and my other work that I did there. And then I came back to DC, and I've been doing this now for over 40 years. So it's been quite a journey. And I'd do it all again, even though it was the worst experience I've ever had between the racism and the rain. I would do it all again to do what I do now, because what I do now is life-giving. What I was doing before was life-taking. It was not satisfying me. It was not helping because they had already had the system worked out so that people of color would be greater participants in the criminal justice system than people who were non-melanotic. So I'm in my place now, and I'm very grateful. And I've written two books. My latest one is The Sacrifices of Superwomen, Natural Remedies to Restore Balance. And I wrote this book because I recognized that African American women die earlier than white women from cancer. We don't get cancer more, but we die more from it. So I started investigating that, being a sociologist at heart. And the real reason is we take care of everybody else but ourselves. In addition, of course, to the sexism and racism, which infiltrates all of what we do and creates inflammation, and inflammation creates disease. So this is a very important book, and much of what I'm going to talk about as it relates to menopause is in this book, The Sacrifices of Superwomen, Natural Remedies to Restore Balance. You can get it at bookshop.org. You can get it on Amazon, which I'm not a fan of, but you can get it there, and bookshop.org. So anyway, fast forward, I've been in my private practice now for 40 years, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else except writing books and speaking, which is what I'm doing now. So I feel very blessed to do that. And I feel blessed to be here to speak to your audience about menopause because menopause is not a disease. It's a stage of life that we go through, and some of us go through it poorly. That's true. Some of us go through it with joy. Some of us go through it feeling okay. I didn't have that many symptoms of menopause. I had hot flashes here and there, but I didn't have that many. And I'm convinced that it's because when I started going to a naturopath at 29, I started taking care of myself. And that's really the bottom line. We have to take better care of ourselves. I don't care what the concern is. I don't care what the condition is. We have to take better care of ourselves because we do take care of everybody else but ourselves. We take care of our husband's children that we didn't know we had. We take care of our aunt's kids. We take care of our grandfather's kids. We take care of everybody, but we don't take care of us. And I know that that's a thing from slavery. One of my minors in graduate school was the sociology of law and racial justice. And I know that that's from slavery, that that's what we were supposed to do because the white woman couldn't handle taking care of anything, and the white man was too busy trying to kill us or hurt us. So, and I say that, metaphorically, not all the time because he couldn't kill us because we were the reasons why he made his money. But the point is, there was not a lot that we were supposed to do other than take care of everybody else. And we did that well. But fast forward today, we must take better care of ourselves. And the self-love that we have to generate is going to be self-care. Many of us don't love ourselves enough to say, hey, I really need to go to bed now. I really need to put that pork chop down. I really need to stop doing all this stuff that I'm doing. And of course, the society doesn't make it any easier because much of what they call food is not food. It's not designed to assist us in growing normally and naturally. It's designed to hurt us and kill us. Hence comes in big pharma and big farming. That's a whole other topic. I'm going off the deep end here, but it's all connected.
Yeah.
Just like the body is all connected. You're not separate from your heart or your vagina or your mind or your arms. You are one person exhibiting a particular concern or condition, if you will. And that's the difference in naturopathic care versus allopathic care. In allopathy, you go to a GI doctor for your stomach. You go to a neurologist for your brain. You go
Listen.
to a chiropractor, somebody that deals with your bones for your bones. But it's all connected. And in naturopathy, we're treating a person. We're not treating just a disease, and we're not treating just one aspect of that person. We're treating your mental, emotional, and physical health, and your spiritual health, not just your physical health, because that's all connected.
Yeah.
So the other thing about naturopathy is it's about doing things that are natural. So my book is full of that because when in menopause especially, your cortisol is increasing, right? Cortisol is something that comes from
That
the adrenal
baseline.
belly fat, exactly. Because when your estrogen and progesterone decrease, cortisol increases. But cortisol also increases when you're stressed.
Yes.
For us, it's like the tiger is always in the tree. So that's the main thing that one has to do when you are in menopause. And that requires self-care. Reduce your stress. Reduce your stress. And all the things that you know to reduce your stress that you don't do, I'm talking to your audience now, are the things you need to do. Like go to bed, exercise, eat well, think good thoughts, speak kindly to yourself. All of those things are real. I don't just say them in my book because it's some fantasy. I live those things. I know that those things help to control these hormones that are going crazy. And yes, the cortisol increases the belly fat. When you exercise, however, and build muscle, you are decreasing the fat. So you can't just sit on the couch and eat bonbons. It's
Right.
not going to work. You
Yeah.
can't just sit on the couch and eat Lay's potato chips. It's not going to work.
Right.
And then say to myself, I don't know why I feel so badly. Well, read the label of Lay's potato chips and you'll figure
All
that
these
out.
chemicals, yeah, preservatives, right.
I have people that still eat M&Ms. Finally, I'm picking on M&Ms, I don't know why. Finally, M&Ms is reducing, taking out some of the different colors because the colors are dyes. So
Yes.
these are just things that we have to think about, that we have to be aware of. Read the labels. I've been saying that for 40 years. and don't do things that you know are going to be bad for you. People say, well, I can't help it because I'm under so much stress. I understand that, but I can tell you that exercise is the best free drug there is, the best. And it doesn't have to be
It
long.
releases these hormones that make you happy, feel good.
That's right. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 10 minutes. 10 minutes 3 times a week is where I start people. It can be walking. It can be whatever works for you. Jumping rope, skipping, squatting, swimming, cycling,
I love being out in nature, gardening. That's one of the great
gardening too.
ones.
That's
Yeah.
right. As long as you are moving. And, the first thing in the morning, some of the things you can do to mitigate these symptoms, first thing in the morning, get light. We were just talking about the light that's in our rooms. So
Yes.
get daylight the first 10 minutes in the morning. Things that most people do when they're under stress are the complete opposite of what they should be doing in terms of menopause. Drinking, smoking, coffee first thing in the morning. No, those things will hurt you. If you're going to drink coffee, drink it after you eat. Don't drink it before you eat. Our nervous system shuts down our digestive tract when we're under stress. And most of our immune cells are in our digestive tract. And so when that happens, we're creating inflammation in our digestive tract, which spreads throughout our body. This is why we have so much disease because we don't eat well. And then you
Right.
add to that the stress, your adrenaline is coming out. That comes from the two glands that sit on top of the kidney, your adrenal glands. And when the adrenaline continues to come out, it constricts your blood vessels. And that means you have high blood pressure.
Blood pressure. Yeah.
That's right. And the cortisol continues to come out. That means that your insulin isn't working effectively. And so your body cannot uptake the sugar. And so your what? Your diabetes is present.
Diabetic. You're diabetic.
These
Yeah.
are all these are
Yeah.
all conditions of lifestyle. These are not
Something like
some, yeah, they're not some, disease from Pago Pago that's some strange, rare, exotic disease that we can't figure out what's happening. And it keeps happening because, again, of big pharma and the choices that we make. Every
Mhm.
day we have choices. Every day, every minute of every day we have choices. If we don't take advantage of our choices, the positive ones, then we're really
Little
headed
sugar
down a
mess.
slippery slope. Yeah, exactly.
So let me
So,
ask you a question. You dropped so many gems here. We could just say, okay, this podcast episode is done because she's told you everything. These are things that I communicate on a regular basis. And this is one of the reasons why I love Paris so much. I've been to Paris like 5 times. I stayed there for a couple of months last year. Paris to me is one of those places for a menopausal woman. It's a prescription. It's a slower pace. The food is healthy. They don't have chemicals. The lifestyle is such that you can go and enjoy art. You can go enjoy music. You can go out in the park and enjoy a nice meal and watch people. These are things that help our nervous system. For us here in the United States, we're on a treadmill. We're constantly going, 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 going. And once you get to this stage, you burn out. You need to slow down and
hmm
just
hmm
bring in a different pace.
hmm
We here, we don't feel like we're productive unless we're going. And then
hmm
you end up in the doctor's office because you're not feeling well. And then you
hmm
want to blame it on menopause. And that's one of the things that really concerns me. It's just like, okay, your body is speaking to you and asking for something totally different at this stage. And if
hmm
you listen and adjust them and change your lifestyle, I don't see that there's a need for pharmaceuticals. I know there's a choice for every woman, but I really believe in doing things naturally and holistically. This is the way I grew up as a child. My grandmothers and great grandmothers taught me how to
Right.
use herbs, how to use tinctures, things that were from nature to help bring balance. So
hmm
this
hmm
is your bailiwick, this is your specialty. So when you have women that come in and complain about these different things that are happening in their body during menopause, what is it that you help them to see when it comes to their lifestyle and not just,
Oh,
okay, this like a litany of things because sometimes it's overwhelming, but you could just do a few changes and you can see a difference in your body hormonally coming into balance more.
right. So let me say again, going back to my book, I have 4 things in here, 5 things in here. I have a history in here, but 5 things in this book that one can do. One
Okay.
is sleep. Again, sleep, 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 sleep. What a concept.
Let's talk about sleep because some people see sleep differently. So when you talk about a woman that's like menopausal, let's say at the 51 age, that's usually the menopausal time. How much sleep does a woman need?
8 hours. You need
Eight
8 hours.
hours.
Yeah, you need 8 hours to function effectively. And most people don't get 8 hours. They're
Okay.
going to bed at 2 o'clock and they're getting up at 6 to go to the gym. Well,
Okay.
that's fine, but it's hurting you. Well, you're trying to do something good, but you have to adjust that. First of all, you need to go to bed at the same time every night so that you can get up at the same time every morning.
So
And I
sleep
have
is
a
a
sleep
restorative
pattern.
process, right? Isn't that the purpose of the sleep to restore and balance? Correct?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
purpose of, but we don't do that. And
Right.
if you have to, many people go to bed with their phones. Let's
Mhm.
start there. Let's just start
No,
there.
even go back a little further. A television in their room that they fall asleep. I do not have a television in my room. I haven't had a television in my room in decades.
Right, right.
Decades.
Me either. So they go to bed with their phones, and
Mhm.
yes, the TV is on. They say, well, it's going to turn off on its own. No, you don't get in the bed with the television, and better yet, take the television out of your room. Let's just go for it. I say
Right.
that almost every other day because what happens is that's affecting your circadian rhythm. Not to mention all of the bang bang shoot 'em up that you have on the TV
Yeah.
into your central
Our
nervous
nervous
system.
system.
That's right. And then you're scrolling on your phone, looking at whatever you're looking at. That also affects your central nervous system. So I tell people, you shut everything down at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night is fine. Take a shower, go to bed. There's nothing
So
in
like
between
having
shower
a
and bed.
ritual to
Yeah,
prepare for
yeah,
bedtime, right?
exactly. That's right. There's nothing in between shower and bed. Nothing. You don't get the Bible because the Bible has some terrible stories in it too. You don't look at the newspaper, you don't look at your magazine, you don't look at your phone. You take a shower, you go to bed. Your room should be on 68 or 64 because the cooler the room, the better the sleep. So let's start there. When you wake up in the morning, you
Wait,
don't
wait,
do
wait, wait, wait. Before we go in the morning, let's bring a couple more things in that can help your sleep. I'm a big fan of oils, essential oils, having a diffuser to help with that sleep environment. I do soft light, I do sounds. So what do you
Yeah,
think about all
yeah, you can do that before you turn the lights out. But
that?
I'm
Mhm,
talking about once you take the shower, you get in the bed and you go to sleep. The
mhm,
sounds, maybe they will help some people, but if you take a shower, go to bed, that's all you need. Now, the only thing I do recommend sometimes is calcium glycinate. That can help people sleep. Or
okay,
magnesium, they both come in capsules. But you
okay,
need to check with someone before you do that. I'm not trying to prescribe things here.
right,
I'm just
yeah,
suggesting different
yeah.
things. So
One of the
this,
things that I think about for me getting ready for bed, my mind is racing with so much that I can't just go to sleep. So I have these little things that let my mind know it's time to go to sleep. I even sleep with a mask.
I do too.
Okay.
I do too. And so I tell people, make a brain dump. All the things that are on your mind, write them down. You don't have to write them in full sentences, do some abbreviations, but get them out of your mind.
Okay.
And meditation is very important. Breathing is important. Maybe you take 4 breaths in and 6 breaths out slowly. Or
Right.
you can do a regenerative process, like tighten all of your muscles, starting at the top of your head down to your toes, and then relax each part. And deep breathing. All of those things are important, yes.
Okay.
And you also have to do it at a certain time every night. That's better
Okay. Okay.
than
I just
doing
wanted
it.
to bring all that in because sometimes women say, I just can't fall asleep. And it's just
Mhm.
like you sometimes have to start this process with little things that bring in rituals so your body will know it's time to slow down and get ready for sleep.
Right. But the other thing is exercising, and I don't want you to do it before you go to sleep, but exercising during the day always makes you sleep better at night. Almost every patient I have says that I started exercising, doc. You know what? I sleep better. Really? But not, I don't want you to do it at night. That's why
Yeah.
I didn't bring it in with the sleep
Right.
program. But, exercise, again,
Okay.
I just can't say enough good things about it. And again, it does not have to be long, small things done consistently make a difference, but it does need to be consistent. And
Okay.
it can be 10 minutes. People think I have to go to the gym, I have to get a bike, I have to get new sneakers, I have to get a, so I got to, no, don't put all that on yourself. Maybe you get an accountability partner, maybe you do something like that, but you don't need to buy anything to go out and walk.
Right.
Maybe you
Right.
do need, if you don't have good tennis shoes, get some good tennis shoes, but that's all you need. It
Right.
doesn't have to be an expensive process,
Right.
but the expense
Plus,
is
it's really
not
good
doing
for
it.
walking because it's low impact and it's not something that's going to have you just overly exercising because sometimes that can bring stress to the body and cause you to hang on to weight, especially
Right.
for women.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I do diets and exercise based on blood type. So, for example, a blood type A, I don't want to do, 65 minutes of jumping jacks um, or the treadmill. No, that's not what I want you to do. Swimming, Tai Chi, Aikido, which brings me to another thing. Meditation is really important. Again, not necessarily before bed, although that can be useful, but anytime during the day, because there's so much stuff out here that we don't take time to go inside. This is where everything exists. Your God, everything. And
Yes.
so when we don't talk to God and when we don't listen, prayer is talking to God.
Right.
Meditation is listening to God.
Yes.
And so when you're not listening to God, then you got issues. There are problems that are going to arise that you're not going to be able to deal with. But when you listen and be quiet and go inside, you have a much better opportunity to sleep well. The other thing I don't suggest, of course, is alcohol before bed. People say, I wake up at 3 o'clock. What'd you do last night? Oh, I had a six-pack of beer, or I had, whatever. I,
Also,
I had two glasses of
exacerbates hot
wine.
flashes, right?
Huh?
Alcohol exacerbates hot flashes, right?
Exactly. It exacerbates everything. You're waking up at 3 o'clock. It's like you might have had a good time doing it, but it's not going to work for you as you continue through the night. It's
Yeah.
just not. And it increases cortisol. I mean, there are many things about it that are not particularly good. I appreciate people that want a good glass of wine. Speaking of Paris, but
I'm a French girl. I gotta have my glass of wine.
am
But
not, yeah,
they have wines now that have low sugar content.
yeah, yeah, and also organic.
Yes,
Um, and I have to disagree with you. I'm not a Paris girl.
I know, I know, I know. There's something for everyone. Paris is my
Give
place.
me
I know yours
Portugal.
is different continent.
Give me Portugal or give me something else because and the food is wonderful there and very, very
Yes,
fresh.
it
But
is. It is.
nonetheless, some people can't afford to do either of those things, so we're getting a little off base here. But you
Right.
can afford to go to a park or walk down your street or go anywhere that can bring you some peace of mind. If you're in the DC area, there are beaches around here that you may choose to go to, or parks, our big park, Rock Creek Park. Find a space that can give you some peace. But
Yes.
the peace that you are looking for is inside of you, which is why
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
talking about meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other
Yes.
thing is water. Water. People
I
say,
have some right here. I
I
have
do
the
too,
water.
but I can't tell you how many times people say not enough. How much, there's two things. How much water do you drink? Not enough. How much sleep do you get? Not enough. The same answers. Sleep and water. We're not getting enough of it. We have to have more. You need to have at least half of your body weight in ounces or close to that. If not, because every organ depends on water. Your brain depends on water, your mind, your concentration, everything depends on water. You can't just go through life like a prune. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So we
Stay
have to
hydrated.
think. You have to think about these things. Like I said, you don't get these diseases we have. You don't get a headache from a lack of aspirin. You get a headache because you haven't pooped, because you haven't had enough water, because you haven't had enough sleep. These are the reasons why people get headaches.
Toxic.
Many people, and alcohol, many people. Not everybody. There's some other people that get headaches for other reasons, but I'm just saying these things we have to think about before we reach for a capsule or a tablet or a liquid, which of course is always in front of us on the TV. You don't have any commercials without drugs on the TV. So
True.
it's all designed to keep us in the sick care system.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
not a healthcare system. Everything is you have a capsule for this. You got people smiling, talking about I got diabetes and I got something like, girl, get off the screen. I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, so my point is this book has the remedies, as I said, the natural remedies
Yep.
to create a balanced and better life. And it
Right.
may not happen overnight, but it can happen if you do it. but you have to do it. And I know many of us know these things, yet
Yeah.
we don't do
You
them.
don't do it though.
Do
Yeah.
one. Just do one. Just say I'm going to drink more water this summer. Or just say I'm going to exercise 3 times a week this summer. Or just say I'm going to go to bed 3 times a night, 3 times a day this
Yeah.
summer, three
Yeah.
times a week this summer.
Yeah.
You pick one thing. Pick just
Yeah.
one thing and
Right.
work on that one thing. I'm not asking you to do anything monumental or Herculean unless you choose to, but you can do one of those things that I mentioned in this book. And that will give you great joy
Yeah.
and it will
Yeah.
give you better health. I'm
Right.
sure. I'm sure of it. So,
So, one question that I have for you that I think women may not really understand fully is like how important nutrition is for our body at this stage. It's like you may have been able to get away with fast food or eating stuff that was junk, but at this stage of our lives, our bodies need so much support, vitamins and nutrients. And understanding what real food is, I was really surprised that someone asked me, well, I ate this, and I was thinking, like, girl, have you looked at the labels of that stuff? It is nothing but chemicals and preservative. You need real food. I try to say, look at things that are one word,
mhm,
okay?
mhm.
Grab a potato, grab a tomato, grab one word items. And if you get it in the store and you don't want to just do one word, because I feel like that's the most natural food there is. But if you find yourself in the store and you're looking at the packaging and there's a whole lot of chemicals at the top and then at the bottom there's the substance that you're eating, that's garbage. We have apps now you can scan the back of packages and they can let you know the nutritional value. So you have to be proactive. And I think
Mhm.
you and I had a conversation over lunch. I was saying, I'm in the store and it's just like most of the food that I've seen, there's some type of bioengineering that's taking place or a lot of preservatives. Like, where is just natural foods? And I find like a farmer's market is really great, but we only have that a few times throughout the summer months. Where do you shop to get good food? Because used to you can go to Whole Foods and most of their food, now they've been co-opted and bought out and they kept the name, but the products that they have in the store are not wholesome as they were before in several other stores. So to me,
Well,
it's important to find a place that you can shop that really leans into having healthy organic foods for us.
yeah, I didn't know you could mention different food shops on this. But anyway, Mom's is a great store, My Organic Market. They have the farmers market in DC is year round,
Mhm.
DuPont Circle. The farmers market in Tacoma Park, off of Carroll Avenue, that's year round also. The farmers market, there's one in Silver Spring also. So you have to look. It's not easy because they don't want you to be well. It's very simple.
But I
So
think you were saying something about a co-op because I'm thinking co-ops can
yeah,
be found,
yeah.
throughout the United States. I'm thinking.
I was going to say that too. No, they're not throughout the United States. My first experience of a co-op is Seattle. And that was wonderful because it's a wonderful, beautiful co-op. We have one here also in Tacoma Park. That's also a wonderful co-op, but you have to look for them. You have to look for them. There's no doubt about that. And at the farmers market, many of them may not say organic because they can't afford to do all the stuff you have and hoops you have to jump through to have the organic label. But you ask them, and they will tell you the truth. Well, we only use little bit of pesticides or whatever. Because again, if it's in your area, they don't have to make the food travel so far. So it's
Right.
not like it's coming from California. So you have to be aware. And you have to be aware of things like if you're eating chicken, okay, where's the chicken coming from? Is it free range? That's the first thing we learned in naturopathic school in 1978. And it's still happening that people are eating chicken that's not free range. You're
Yes.
getting tranquilizers, hormones, and
Yes.
antibiotics in
Yes.
that chicken that is not free range. And those tranquilizers, antibiotics, and hormones are affecting your hormones every single day. So we have to think about what it is we're putting in our mouth. That's one in my first chapter, I talk about the food that we have is not food. So you have to think about what you're eating and you have to read the label. Like you said, you can't just keep eating this stuff blindly and mindlessly and think that you're going to be well. Now,
Right.
are any of us going to get out of here alive? No. But I don't want to have to be hooked up to tubes and oxygen tanks and
Exactly.
no,
I'm with
I'm not going out that way.
me.
So
I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah.
so it's a choice. Again, every day is a choice. Every moment of every day is a choice. And we have to make better use of our choices. We have to be more focused on taking care of ourselves rather than taking care of other people all the time. That 10 minutes that you take out of your day, because nobody's going to give you 10 minutes. You're going to take the 10 minutes. It's
It's your
empowering.
self-care. It's your
Right.
self-care.
It's
Yeah.
empowering. And once you start that, it leads to other methods and forms of empowerment. And you're going to recognize that your self-esteem is going to come up, your self-concept is going to come up, your self-worth is going to increase. And that's how it begins, with small steps done consistently. That's how it begins. And
Right.
yet we have to do it. We have suffered enough. We have suffered more than enough for any group of people. I'm talking about Black women now, and all women, because all women have been put down and
Yeah,
sexualized.
because we have the patriarchy that's just
Yeah,
really been suppressing us, really been
exactly.
suppressing us.
Because they know how bright we are, because they
Powerful we
know
are
how
at this
powerful
stage.
we are. If they don't get off our necks, they know what that can happen. This is why, well, I won't go into that. Okay. So,
You're welcome to, babe. You are welcome to.
I mean, this thing that Trump has with Obama is just incredible because he's so jealous and so insecure, and you can't treat people in such a mean way if you feel good about yourself. You just can't
That's another thing
do it. And
is
we have to
the
be
way.
strong for what's going on in this country right now. We have to be strong. We have to show our children how to take care of themselves because we don't know what's coming down the pike.
Right,
But we
right,
have to take care of ourselves. We have to.
right. Part of it, I was thinking about women who are on this journey is their mindset. Because if you're going to cloud yourself with all of the negativity, then it's going to be difficult for you to see a positive outcome of this for yourself.
Mhm.
Menopause to me is an opportunity for you to take the mirror and look at yourself and see, what do I need to give you at this
Mhm.
stage?
Mhm.
Truly, you've done a lot. You've been successful in business, family, in your community. But at this stage, your body starts shifting and changing. And that's an indication that, hey, I need to put myself on this priority
Mhm.
list. I need to take care of her. And
Mhm.
lifestyle is so important. And for
Mhm.
me, part of my lifestyle is getting away from the stress and the chaos. And I love just going and traveling. That's my big deal. I travel a lot. And that's where I get my joy because I feel like I've given all of my life to my family, to my
Mhm.
children, to my community, to my church. This
Mhm.
is my opportunity to, like, yeah, I'm selfish. It is about me at this point because I want to live a very full life going forward. And I don't
Mhm.
want to feel so depleted and overwhelmed that I can't be the best version of myself. Like
Mhm.
Dr. Sullivan looking here radiant in her lavender and her beautiful mane. I asked her, I say, how do I get that beautiful mane? Because one of the things that I've noticed is the texture of my hair has totally changed. And
Uh-huh.
you have this full glowing
And
crown. So what's the secret?
I started this journey at 29. And so when patients come to me and because they ask me that all the time, or people in the street or the young kids say, I want my hair to be like yours. First of all, you'll get there, you'll get gray if you have enough stuff in your life. But I take care of it and I take care of myself. Hair is not something separate from my body. So I am nurturing my body with the things that I eat. It goes to my hair, it goes to all the cells in my body. It doesn't just go to my stomach, it doesn't just go to my arms. So it's a process, and it's not too late to do it. And again, I earned every strand of this gray, but I also know that, and I believe that because I started taking care of myself early, that my hair is still my hair, and I still have all of it, and it is beautiful. I thank you for the compliment. My mother lived to be 100, and she had beautiful gray hair. And so I know that, and she started the journey with me. So she would have been 50, I want to say, um, when I started, maybe, yeah, maybe 45. And she would do the same things that I would tell her to do. And she was, working up until she was 85. She taught school, she taught kindergarten. She started drive. She came and lived with me. She would drive to Philadelphia at 95 and drive back.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's cumulative.
Yeah.
And it's not too late to start now. In every moment, in every choice. That's I can't drive that home enough. You got to start. You got to do it. It looks like it's monumental, but taking the first step is what is key.
Yeah.
You know that.
And what is so important, ladies, is that you do not have to go through this journey alone. Dr. Sullivan has shared so much. She's got all of this information in her book. She has a clinic. I know her hours are limited, and now she's trying to transition to another location out of the country at some point. So take advantage of the resources. Get in the community with women. I'm a health and wellness coach. Find support on this journey because you can do that. You don't have to have a bunch of prescriptions to navigate this. If you
Right.
choose to do that, know that there are side effects as a result of taking these medications, but we're talking about something that's so natural that you can do with simple lifestyle changes. It's not overnight, but there's incremental changes that give you the outcome that you're looking for.
And
So,
I,
Dr.
I just I
Sullivan,
just want to say one more thing because there are many sisters, black or white, out there that cannot go to Paris or they cannot go to Portugal. Let's face it, we're blessed. But you can go to the park. I want to stress that. You can go to a local beach. You can walk down the street. You have to do something. Maybe you can't buy a full grocery cart of organic food, but buy a bushel of kale that's organic once a week. Buy some organic peaches once a week. Do one thing at a time. Small things done consistently make a difference. I have to keep saying that because it's true. So if you can't do something, huge like travel, fine. Do something that you can do to make yourself feel better because you are worth it. And we need you. We need you. Yeah.
absolutely. Those are words to live by, ladies. You are worth it. So, Dr. Sullivan, I'll let you close out with any last words, show your book one more time. How can women reach out to you? Because I'm sure you're going to get a lot of inquiries.
I love this book. This book is a great book because it's small, right? My first book was A Path to Healing, A Guide to Wellness for Body, Mind, and Soul, which I talked about, everything from the secret doctors doing slavery, which was us, to herbs that we use to this day, etc. This book is compact and it has a lot in it that talks about what you can do just to not continue to sacrifice yourself. So I'm at 202-244-4545. I'm in Silver Spring, Maryland. And it is true. I am directing most of my new patients to my colleague. And I am seeing my patients that I've been seeing for 40 years. Some come back after 10 years. Um, Perhaps if you plead your case, I may be able to take you, but it's a wait. So
Yeah.
just know that it's a wait. And my colleague wouldn't be there if she were not competent and wonderful, and she is. Her name is Samantha Abobi. Um, I want to say one other thing. The herbs that we use, like Vitex and fenugreek and those kinds of herbs that we use for menopause, we used to use them during slavery. We used to use some of these during slavery. We brought things like glycyrrhiza, which is licorice here. That's a whole other field, right? Literally, that we can talk about. But this is our medicine. This naturopathic medicine is our medicine. This is what we brought to this country and what we collaborated with the Native Americans to continue to create a system of real healing. Of course, the allopaths didn't like that, so they shut down all the schools, and here we are with allopathy being predominant. But anyway, it's all good. God bless us all. Peace. Enjoy your summer.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I love, love, love you and the work that you're doing. And I'm so grateful that we have connected. And
I
we
am
will
too.
have to have you back for a part two to talk about these herbs because I think that that's one of the things that women don't realize is like these are things that are available to you. I'm a big tea person and I could probably open up a tea shop because there's healing in the plants that
Right.
we eat.
I
So
hear you. I hear you.
that's for another episode. But ladies, thank you for
Thank
being here.
you.
Dr. Sullivan, it's been a pleasure. So this is going to conclude our episode. I'm Beverly with Beverly Hills Health and Wellness Coaching. I'm a certified health coach and I help women just like you to break through the stigma of menopause and lead a powerful next level life. So we'll see you on the next episode. Bye, ladies. Thanks
Bye.
again, Dr.
Thank you.
Sullivan.
God bless you.
Welcome to the sexy side of menopause.